Believe it or not, I have something in common with Bill Clinton, Bob Dole, and Jon Stewart. Need a clue? It's a 9-letter word starting with C that means nerd puzzle. Crossword. Hey! We are all crossword addicts. And more specifically, we all do the New York Times crossword puzzle, which means I am a crossword snob. But it's not my fault, it's all my mother's doing. When I was a kid, I watched my mother do the Sunday Times crossword puzzle and the daily crossword puzzle every day. Not in pencil, but in ink, and she always finished it. And I thought, I want to be able to do that. But I was too young, so I did word search puzzles, waiting for my time. Every once in a while, she would share a clue with me that she found particularly cute. Look, she said, every answer rhymes with a person's name. So Dick's dinner is Nixon's Fixins. Get it? I thought, kinda, but I really wanted to be able to answer it myself before she told me what the answer was. In high school, she started throwing me some scraps whenever she couldn't get the answer herself. One time she said, Sunny's Delight, a 4-letter word starting with C. And I said, share. She said, oh, one of those hippie types. When I got to college, I finally had my own chance. I bought my own subscription to the New York Times, and I started doing the puzzle myself. I started in pencil, but eventually switched over to ink, just like Mom. And I actually almost finished it pretty much every day. Now, in 1999, I had a chance to converge with people of my own kind when I heard about the American Crossword Puzzle Tournament. It's a 2-day event. It was held in the town next to mine, and it was particularly endearing to me that year because my mother had actually passed away the year before. And I saw it as a really special way to bond with her, to feel her spirit in this thing that I know she would have loved. On the morning of the tournament, I walked into the Marriott Hotel where the tournament was being held. And the first thing I saw was a man dressed up like a giant pencil. He was in yellow from head to foot, and he had a lovely graphite-colored hat on his head. Behind him, it was black and white everywhere. There was men in crossword ties, there were women with crossword scarves. I could hear the whir of the pencil sharpener, and the smell of pencil shavings was in the air. I went into the ballroom, and I sat down at a seat next to an elderly gentleman who was practicing for the puzzle. I heard this heated discussion behind me. The man said, I'm telling you, it makes a difference. When you're doing the puzzle, if you're going to make the E, you got to make the curvy E, because then your pencil doesn't have to leave the paper. And if you do the straight lined E, you got to pick your pencil up. You know, it could mean 15 seconds in a puzzle. Could be the difference between first and third. And I thought, seconds? They're measuring things in seconds? An alarm bell started to go off in my head. Then a woman sat across from me, and she was wearing crossword puzzle pajamas. Now, how do I know that they're crossword puzzle pajamas? Because I have my own pair. So I noticed that she had 6 perfectly sharpened number 2 pencils. The point was sharp enough to do surgery with. And I had these 2 little half-used Eberhard Fabers sitting very sadly on my desk. I thought, I think I'm a little out of my league here. So they explained that the first puzzle was going to be an easy one, that we had 15 minutes to solve it, and 15 minutes, and that we would get extra credit if we finished early. So I got the puzzle, I took out my reading glasses, and I put them on, and the left lens was missing. So I looked down, and everything's a blur. And I put my hand over my left eye, and everything came back into focus. So I did the rest of the puzzles like some sort of a nerdy pirate. About 3 minutes into the first puzzle, the man next to me got up and left, and I thought, man, he's going to lose a lot of time in the men's room. They announced 1 minute left to the puzzle. I look up, and the room is virtually empty. everybody's finished in 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I'm one of the only ones sitting there. And I start to feel really sad, and I think, what am I doing here? My mother should be here. And tears start to plop down on all my answers. And I hate to tell you, but the rest of the day kind of went like that. I finished a puzzle, but the rest of them, I was woefully far behind. So I went home that night, and I kind of thought about it, and I could hear my mother's voice saying, go back tomorrow. Go for the last puzzle. Don't be a quitter. So, against my better judgment, I went back the next day for the final puzzle. It was a 45-minute puzzle, like a Sunday New York Times size. And when they announced 1 minute left, I had a lot of empty boxes. So I just started writing the letter E in every single box. And it was the straight line E, not the curvy E. And I handed my answer in. When I got out to the lobby, I noticed a lot of people were around these pieces of paper, and I understood that they were the rankings from the previous day. So I looked up my name, and I saw that I was 267th out of 268 people. And again, Mom said to me, could be worse, you could be last. So I went home. About a week later, I looked up the results, and I was thrilled to see that I had risen to 263rd place. And then I noticed that everybody below me had a 0 for Sunday, which means they didn't even show up. And I started to get down on myself again, and then I just had to laugh, and I knew that somewhere my mom was laughing too. But I vowed crossword puzzles are a leisure activity for me. I'm not doing another crossword puzzle tournament. Until the next year, when the entry form came in the mail, and I said, I really am my mother's daughter because I got to prove to myself that I can do better than last place. Thank you.